Hola, hola, language amigos. This is Virginia again. And today we're going to start with the day number 4 from the Spanish Starter program. And what are we going to learn today? Well, since the previous lessons, we have been studying the verb ser, the verb estar, how to describe others, and how to describe ourselves as well. Now we are going to learn something very, very important. I know everything I say, it's important in Spanish, but this is one of the things that students always ask, because we're making these lessons to help you out with that. So what are we going to study today? Well, we're going to study with the affective verbs. Yes, verbos afectivos, because they're kind of different from English. So today we're going to learn which are they, right? What are these affective verbs in Spanish? How do we conjugate them and how do we use them? Okay, so let's jump right in. Probably you have heard about this, and it's the verb gustar, right? It's one of the main ones, but we also have others, just as interesar, molestar, right? In English, you have to like, to love, to be interested in something. So we use these verbs to express, that something affects us in a way. So that's why we have a different conjugation in Spanish. But we are going to see it just right now, okay? Muy bien. So, what do you like? ¿Qué te gusta? That's how we start with the affective verbs, because the most important one, or the most common, is the verb gustar, all right? So in English, when you use the verb to like, gustar, you just conjugate it with the subject and you say, I like pizza, right? Me gusta la pizza. Very simple. But in Spanish, I don't use the subject yo, okay? I use me or a mí me. Why? Because something is affecting me, so I am not doing any action. I'm not performing an action. So that's why I don't use the subject yo, all right? So let's see. We can say a mí me gusta or me gusta to express that I like something. We don't say yo gusto, even though I in English, the translation is yo. In Spanish, we're going to use a mí me or me, all right? Depending on the verb. Muy bien. So let's move here. What are the affective verbs? ¿Qué son los verbos afectivos? Well, they express, as you can see right here, verbs that express a reaction or effect on the subject. Who is affected by it? What does that mean? These verbs, we use them when there is something that affects us. This object, this person has an effect on us, right? So if you use the verb gustar, that means that I like something because that thing makes me like it, okay? So that's why I'm affected by it. And since I am affected by it, I don't perform an action. I'm just affected by it. So that's why the conjugation is different, okay? So why do we use them for? We use these affective verbs to express dislikes, emotions, likes, and interests. See? Gustos, likes, dislikes, disgustos, we don't like, right? Emociones, emotions, and interests, intereses, okay? So we use verbs like interesar for interest, gustar for likes or encantar, dislikes when you say molestar maybe, right? And emotions as well, right? Or dislikes, we can also use aburrir, yeah, something that you don't like doing, it bores you. And emotions, we can use that as well. Muy bien. Let's see the conjugation, conjugación. As I was saying before, we're not going to see all the subjects. Don't worry. We're going to focus on 3, which is I, you, and he or she. Okay? So, a mí me gusta, I like. A ti te gusta, you like. And a él le gusta, he likes. Or a ella le gusta, she likes. Okay? And you can see here the conjugation is exactly the same. Gusta, gusta, and gusta. Doesn't change with the subjects. You see? It's the same. Why? Because it's conjugated in the third person. It means that it's always going to be gusta. It's not going to be gusto or gustas. No. There is no agreement with the subject and the verb. Okay? The only thing you have to remember is that the conjugation is going to be the same for everybody. So, I like, a mí me gusta. Muy bien. ¿Qué te gusta? What do you like? Now we have a question here that says, ¿Qué te gusta hacer? What do you like to do or what do you like doing? And the answer will start, of course, with me gusta. You saw that before we said a mí me gusta, a ti te gusta. But you can drop out, you cannot, you don't have to use it. You can omit it and just say me gusta, te gusta, o le gusta, and then the action. So we have some here. We have tomar fotos, take pictures, hacer yoga, do yoga, bailar, dance, ir a la playa, go to the beach, cocinar, to cook, and leer, to read. All right? ¿Qué te gusta hacer? A mí me gusta, or me gusta, bailar, for example. I love dancing. So, me gusta bailar. ¿Qué te gusta? ¿Qué te gusta hacer? So you would reply, me gusta, I like. Can you comment down below and see what you like? If you have another verb, perfect. Then we can add more for the fellow students that check this out. Muy bien. Now let's see. ¿Qué no te gusta hacer? What don't you like doing, right? What don't you like to do? No me gusta trabajar, to work, or no me gusta limpiar, to clean, or no me gusta estudiar, to study, or no me gusta ir al supermercado, go to the supermarket. ¿Qué no te gusta hacer? For example, no me gusta limpiar. I don't like cleaning, okay? Let's see. ¿Qué no te gusta hacer? You start no me gusta, and then you choose a verb. If you know another one, I would love to see it in the comments, okay? Muy bien. Now let's see other verbs that are affective verbs. We have encantar, to love, molestar, bother, aburrir, to get bored or to bore, or interesar, to be interested in something or something interests you, okay? Interesar. So how do we conjugate them? As we said before, you don't need to use the a mí, a ti. You can omit that. And you can just say me for I, para yo, te for tú or you, and le for él and ella, right? So if I want to use the verb, for example, encantar, me encanta la música. I love music. Me encanta la música. If I want to say that you like music, I would say te gusta la música. Oh, sorry, te encanta, right? You love music. Te encanta la música. And if it's she or he, if I want to say something that she likes, I would say a ella le gusta o le gusta, le encanta la música. ¿Sí? Ahora, now, the same will apply for molestar, right? To bother, aburrir, to bore, and interesar, interest, when you are interested in something. So I would use the same. Me interesa, me aburre, me molesta. Yes? Me molesta el ruido. Yes? The noise bothers me. It bothers me, right? So, since it affects me, I'm always conjugated with a. And if I want to say something in plural that affects me, I would have to. That's the only way that I can change the verb with an N, because it's not because of the subject. It's about the object that affects something. And since it's plural, then I would have to agree with an N, okay? So if I want to say, for example, los chocolates, chocolates in plural, I would like to say, me gustan los chocolates, right? I love chocolate in plural. If I want to say, me gustan esos zapatos, right? Or I love those shoes. Me encantan esos zapatos. Since it's plural, I have to use an N, okay? The same would apply for you, para te, and le for him or her, okay? Muy bien. Practiquemos, let's practice. ¿A ti te gusta, te encanta, o no te gusta? Do you like, do you love, or don't you love, or you don't like, right? We have hacer yoga, yoga, bailar, this is the second one, right? To dance, cocinar, to cook, and leer, to read, okay? So, can you tell me, for example, what about yoga? ¿Te gusta? You can comment down below, and I want to see the whole sentence. For example, me gusta el yoga, hacer yoga, or me gusta bailar. Or you can also say, no me gusta el yoga, no me gusta hacer yoga. So anything that you write down, I'm sure I would be interested to know. So remember, we say me gusta and then the verb, right? For example, me gusta bailar. I like dancing. Me encanta bailar, right? So these three you can use gustar, encantar, or no gustar. That's very valid as well. So let's recap before I can leave you with this cool activity. What happens with the affective verbs? They are different from English because in English, you use a subject, I, and then the verb, right? If you like something, if you're interested in something. But in Spanish, we feel affected by them, so we conjugate them differently, and I don't say yo gusto, I say me gusta, okay? So if I want to also say something that bothers me or that interests me, I would say me interesa. I don't say me intereso, no, we say me interesa. For example, me interesan los libros, right? And also, if something's boring, I say, me aburren las películas biográficas. Like the biographical movies bore me, so I say, me aburren las películas biográficas, okay? Now, for homework, I want to see what bothers your mom, okay? ¿Qué le molesta a tu mamá? And you will say, le molesta el sucio, right? Dirt. A mi mamá le molesta or le molesta el sucio, okay? Now, that's for your mom. Now, for your best friend, tu mejor amigo. ¿Qué le encanta a tu mejor amigo? What does your best friend love? You say, le encanta el reggaeton. You know what reggaeton is? Type of music, very Latin. You can say that. Or le encanta Bad Bunny. And then the last one, I want to know what bores you. ¿Qué te aburre? This last one. ¿Qué te aburre? So you say, me aburre, and say leer. That's valid. Me aburre leer, or me aburre dormir. Some people get bored, but I don't know how, but some people may not like it. So you can say, me aburre dormir. You can use a verb, okay? Or you can use a subject. An object that bores you, all right? Well, I hope to see the comments down below. I'm very excited to see them and see if this lesson helped you out. And if you want more homework, you can check the link down below where you find all the exercises and homework for this lesson and the previous lessons, okay? So thank you very much. Muchas gracias por estar acá. See you next time. Nos vemos la próxima. Chao, chao.